Now we're joined by Heis and Numlocked, although he just disappeared. Heis, you're muted. Oh my god, let me unmute him. No, he's fine. Talk to us, Heis.
Yo.
How does it feel to be smashed, violated by Epsilon? Commiserations.
Feels pretty bad. What can you say? They're just...
I put Numlocked in the wrong room, sorry. There you go, Numlocked. Heis.
Jesus. Amateurs.
Heis,
it's not your turn, Numlock.
I will let you speak, Heis, but I've just got to say, every season, there's some teams that seem to separate themselves through their play, and people put them up as the team to maybe challenge Epsilon. Hasn't been such a clear contender this season, but looking at the tables, you were just edging your way forward there into second place, and people were questioning, maybe can TLR do something? You come here and you get wiped, and it happens to every team. It happened to Broder, Crack Clan, all these teams that think they can challenge Epsilon in the main season. At least they always seem to just get annihilated. Why does it fail, man? What lessons are you gonna take from this?
Step up your game, I suppose. It's just we haven't really practiced versus an opponent of that level, really. No disrespect to the other teams. I'm sure they'd say the same about us as well when they're playing Epsilon. But yeah, it's probably just we could do with more practice versus that sort of standard. And we had a bit of a grab on the beginning of Granary, some big moments, and we just didn't take them, and we could have maybe gone 3-1 up, and we just crumbled from there. We just couldn't find a way back in.
Yeah, it was sort of strange. We were trying to figure out why exactly those first couple of Granary minutes and rounds were good for you, and it seemed like your scouts were staying alive and be able to clean up, or at least Stefan and Bash were sort of sucking out a little bit. But then after the second round, things changed a little bit. We saw in some middles Gear really trying to focus down your scouts, and it seemed like you didn't have an answer to that. Numlock, was that the strategy? Is that what Gear was calling, or was it just something that randomly seemed to happen?
Well, the first couple of rounds our scouts were overextending and trying to go for hiss or just their scouts, and were losing the fights because they were separated from our combo, so any damage they did we couldn't catch up and help them out with that. We couldn't push forward and help them, so it was just horribly split on each middle, so we had to get Gear going instead, and then the scouts follow up on him, and then me and Mike follow up on them. So the first two it was just really uncoordinated and people making too many solo plays.
So it was just the lazy play? Was it the fact that you come off an easy 5-0 in Snakewater?
Yeah, I think people just stopped concentrating, really, and kind of just relaxed on the second map, which we shouldn't.
Were you ever worried at all? I know there was still 21 minutes or something left after that second round, but...
When we got to 2-0 I was, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, just because people weren't concentrating and it was annoying me, so I had to start getting a bit louder.
How does that feel, Heis? You had Numlocked scared, at least.
Honoured. Fucking honoured.
Heis, you seem really dejected right now, but let's see what Numlocked thought of the game. Or who do you see as your main challenger remaining in the season? Reverto are the only team that have actually taken you close, and they mightn't even make it into the playoffs if Willy Wonkas win their next two games or get any points from their next two games. Do you think the playoffs are going to be challenging at all, Numlocked?
Well, I think it was always ever going to be Willy Wonkas that were the challenge for us. Anyone else was a surprise, really. Because on paper, no other lineup is on the same level as Willy Wonkas, to be honest.
But they've been so mixed in the results, and
well, yeah, that's why. Like I said, on paper they seem like the best team, but obviously coming into the actual season, it's a lot closer. It's nice that it's so close between the top four or the second to fourth top teams. It's a lot closer than it's ever been before, because obviously there was only ever second and third that were close before.
Yeah, there's always been sort of a joke bandied about in between seasons and stuff, or maybe it was more recently. It may have been in that drunken interview we did with the three-way, but it was suggested that the best thing that could happen to European TF2 is that Epsilon would fold. I don't agree with that, to lose the best team just so it's more competitive, but I know you guys have been, you in particular, playing a lot of LoL. I asked you last time I interviewed you, how's your passion towards TF2 at the minute? Are you going to be playing next season? What's going to happen?
It definitely seems unlikely at the moment.
Oh wow, that's a dagger to my heart, man. What are we going to do?
Right.
Epsilon will probably be taking a break next season, if anything, because I'm not sure who would take the place of captain if I went. And I'm pretty sure Mike wants to break as well. So we definitely wouldn't want to find 2 replacements. And sorry?
Did Mike not just join the team?
No, he's been there for the same time as I have, like since I-46.
Oh, okay. Well, tell him he's not allowed to take a break, and neither are you.
I'm sure that's what Slick will be saying.
Ice, how do you feel about the thought of playing a season? I know this season isn't even over. I'm getting totally off topic here, but how do you feel about the thought of playing in a European scene without Epsilon? Is
I
that
think it'd be
encouraging?
disappointing. It'd be disappointing to lose them. Like what you said, really, it's better to have those teams around, even if they've dominated. Kind of, I don't know. It's kind of a motivator having them there in some way. But we just got together quite late this season. I think if we'd had a little bit more time, we could have maybe give them a better game. But who knows? They're also not playing that regularly, so it would be hard to say unless they were playing more actively.
Yeah, Ips messaged me earlier to say that Roberto would have done it. He wasn't impressed by the Epsilon play. He reckons he would have eaten you guys up. But we might get to see that in the playoffs if Roberto somehow managed to make it in 4th place and fight their way up to meet Epsilon in the finals. But I don't know how likely that is. Ice, you have one more game left against Cause We Can. It's not going to really impact on the end result of the season, like who's going to be top 4, but who do you think is going to make the cut? Who do you expect to see in 3rd and 4th place?
I don't think Roberto will make it. I think it's a shame for them because they probably had a result or 2 that they would have had better results with if they had maybe Ips and Stark in the position that they started now. I think they would have definitely have made it, but I think TCM and Willy Wonka's will be in playoffs.
And Numlock said to you that he thought it was very close between the next 4 teams. Do you see it that way? Do you think it's close against TCM? I know you drew them in your last official. Are they your closest rivals, or are you scared of Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory? How do you feel about the upcoming playoffs?
I think Seb's probably right about on paper that Willy Wonka's probably look like the next best team maybe, and they have match winners, but like you say, they've not really been performing that well for what they look like on paper. So I don't know. I think we're probably still maybe behind some of the other teams that are in 3rd, 4th, and 5th in the current standings. So we probably need to put a bit of work in to catch up with the others.
And how do you feel that Nadir is progressing? Is he getting a better feel for the Premiership now? He's had his baptism of fire really against Epsilon there. Do you think he is going to go from strength to strength, or will that be sort of something for a future season where we'll really start to see Nadir shine?
I think he's definitely got the right qualities and attributes to be a really good player in Prem.
But will he be there for the playoffs? That's what I'm asking.
Oh, yeah, of course he'll be there for the playoffs. Yeah.
Will he step his game up enough? I mean, will he be Prem level by playoffs?
I think he is Prem level. I think he's already proven that. But when we're talking about the sort of level that you'd want your Roma to reach, then he's obviously not there yet. But I'm sure he's going to make it to a really good standard.
Yeah, I'm busting your balls. I'm asking you tough questions. I don't really have anything else to ask. I'm not going to drag this one out and make it too awkward. But I'll give you guys... oh, Beasly, I thought you said you didn't have any questions. What? Go ahead.
I've got a question, Admirable. My question here is directed to Numlocked. You there, buddy?
Okay.
All right. How would you compare TLR to Crack Clan featuring Admirable? Who's better? Who's worse? I think the Crack Clan obviously.
Which Crack Clan though? Which?
Well, the Crack Clan with Admirable, the one that was about 2 seasons ago. I think it was.
Red Shock or Brago, man. That's the big difference there.
Oh, it's Brago.
There you go.
They sucked, man. They only finished 3rd. It was Red Shock. We got silver. Come on.
The moral here is that Admirable was the problem, right? Right?
Oh yeah.
I'll agree with you.
That's common knowledge, man. I'm garbage.
Thank you.
That's why I don't play.
We 5-0 both teams, so it's difficult to say.
How do you compare 1-5-0 to another? I know what you mean, man.
Do you?
No. Anyway, I'll let you shout out your sponsors. I've heard you're sponsored by somebody called Fragnet
Skynet.
Networks. Skynet, as Beasly hoped it was.
Probably best to hold off on that. We're getting some new stuff sorted soon, so.
Hot gossip. Heist, would you like to thank the last resort? Maybe, thank myself and Beasly and Ducky for casting or something like that,
We'll thank you guys for a great
Well,
cast,
that's
I'm
give him that
sure.
opportunity.
And
you're so rude, I'm not just saying.
yeah, we'd like to thank
No,
Dino
decent.
PC, Scratch Whiz PC, and Plexter as well, which are the sponsors of TLR.
That's beautiful. Check those guys out. Tweet them, whatever. Add me on Twitter, guys. I'm at Admirable Player. I will keep you up to date on what's happening. Hopefully be casting a few more games soon, but I'm finding myself very involved in the Highlander scene at the minute. It's troubling. Who would have thought it? But Beasly, I love to put you on the spot and ask you for a final thought. Tell me, what's on your
You're
mind?
gonna have to give me one quick second to stretch this out. That felt good. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have to take this minute to think back on the previous hour of high-quality Team Fortress 2 that we have just bared witness to. We saw Epsilon take the second map Granary 7-2, and it was an absolutely brilliant showing by them. And all I have to say is, be more like Epsilon.
That's solid. That's sound advice. And one last thing I will just throw in here is that Demo Man of TCM is asking me to shout out his charity raising. I think he's part of Movember. I wish I could grow facial hair, but he says head on over to mobro.co. I guess he means
It's a porn
.com,
site. Don't do it.
.co.uk/or maybe somebody will paste it up into the chat there. I forgot to log in on Twitch. But yeah, sponsor him. He will grow you facial hair for a whole month and it will be hilarious. That's all I got. Thank you. Good night.
That's all he's got, folks. Thanks and good night.